So we're going to see how this actually, he does go for Tailwind. That's kind of why I wanted to go for Taunt. So he must be running a faster Tornadus too. I don't know what Raging Bolt does here though. Like under Tailwind, does he outspeed me? He doesn't, so I think your Bolt did. Yeah, goodbye, get out of here. What a play. What a play this was. Get outplayed. Guy's getting outplayed by a SAWSBUCK Groudon. Where are you going to see this? What is up, everybody? Back with some more Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Regulation G VGC. SAWSBUCK is a really cool mon that has been in the game for a long time already, but it actually has a kind of a cool, unique niche, having chlorophyll and actually being decent in the sun. It's also decently speedy to get some pretty cool moves that a lot of the other chlorophyll users actually don't get. So, being that Groudon and stuff like Rhydon are in the Regulation G format, it's actually kind of more of a cool team with SAWSBUCK Groudon that I wanted to feature for you guys. If you guys want to use this team, rental code up in the corner. Pokepaste for this team should be down below. It's a team by Jordy, or you, I guess, is IGN. We featured a bunch of their teams on the channel before. Always just has a ton of really cool, fun teams that they always put together. So I wanted to try this team out. I don't think this team's going to be like the greatest team ever. It's going to be one of those teams that's more like kind of for shits and giggles, if I'm being real with you guys. I don't think SAWSBUCK is really incredibly good. The only time I've really used SAWSBUCK was with a Serene Grace Headbutt with like King's Rock, and that was a long time ago. When not even this generation, that was like 2 generations ago. So that's like the only time I really used it that much. And I was way in like the lower tiers when I actually did play Smogon. So I haven't played Smogon in a long ass time, so for obvious reasons. But in VGC, I haven't really seen it at all that much. So we're gonna see how it does. There's actually a Terra Ghost SAWSBUCK with Thunder Wave. Fake Tears is for stuff for like the Walking Wake and the Groudon, which are actually both special, which is another really unique thing about this team. It's actually a special Groudon, not a physical one, so you don't have to worry about missing every single press of its blades that you click and then losing the game because you keep missing every single move. Hopefully you don't have to worry about that for this team, at least. So, we're gonna see how that actually works. You got the Thunder Wave for speed control, and you also have Endeavor, so if you got brought down to Sash, you can actually go for Endeavor and pretty much KO something for free, especially if you can outspeed on the next turn with like an E-Speed or like some type of priority that this team does have. That'd be pretty good as well. You got the Choice Specs Groudon. I'm gonna be real with you guys, this is actually the first Choice Specs Groudon I've actually seen. I've seen a few other Groudons that were like mixed sets, but not like a full-on like special Groudon set, so that's kind of another reason I wanted to feature this team for you guys. It actually has Overheat. It's another one of those mons that's kind of slow, so like you're gonna really need to run this thing under Tailwind, which is what I'm gonna try to do with this team, which we do have on this team. So we're gonna see how that actually works. And you need speed control to try to make this work. It's not the fastest of Eruption users. Earth Power Overheat, and actually has Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt being for like your water types, which is kind of cool. I didn't even know Groudon got Thunderbolt, so that's kind of cool. Got the Banded Entei with Terra Normal, just more of a really straightforward set. You also got Giga Impact on there. So a Terra Normal Giga Impact is like a last ditch like YOLO, could be kind of cool in like a last turn 1v1. You got the AV Rillaboom, just more of a standard set with Fake Out, Double Grass, and U-Turn for switching to shift in Terra Fairy or the Terra Fire. Life Orb, Walking Wake, kind of more of a standard set. And then you got the Covert Cloak Tornadus, mainly for Tailwind to get your own manual weather up. But apart from that, it's really standard. So a few crazy things on this team, but apart from that, it's overall pretty straightforward. So we'll see how this team does. Let's hop in some games. Alright, we heard the game. We're actually going to be going against an opposing weather team, so it's going to be kind of a problem. They also have they have a Regigigas Wheezing, Neutralizing Gas combo. Talonflame, kind of interesting. Kyogre, Rillaboom, and Clefairy, so I really want to bring the Tornadus and especially the Groudon here. I really do. I don't know, it's going to be kind of a tough game because like with Neutralizing Gas, like his mons actually outspeed a lot of my team because I can't really get Tailwind up reliably. That's going to be kind of a problem, so I think I lead Tornadus here. I think Tornadus is a solid lead, same with Entei. That way I can kind of go try to get a Scout for a burn onto the Regigigas. If I can get a burn with Sacred Fire, that'd be great. It'll be a speed tie, but I can maybe try to win the speed tie because I should outspeed if he doesn't taunt me first turn. I'll bring the Groudon in the back, looks really good here. Walking Wake ain't too bad into his team too, but I think I should bring SAWSBUCK here. It's like a last mod, just for shits and giggles. I'm not really expecting too much with this team, so we're just gonna try to have fun with it. I don't think it's gonna be that crazy viable. Like, we can maybe throw some people off guard with like the stuff we're trying to run on this team, like the special GROUDON and stuff, but apart from that, I'm fully expecting to go in a lot of these games and just get my ass handed to me. Not really too much expectations here, so see if it actually proves me wrong. So he leads with this, which is what I predicted, because it actually is pretty good versus me. So I'm essentially Tailwind here. I'm going to Tailwind, and then I'm just going to go for Sacred Fire. That's my play here. If he has Crush Grip, I think Crush Grip probably actually just one-shots Tornadus. But that's if he doesn't get burned here. If he has Kyogre in the back too, he can go into Kyogre for instead of the Wheezing. He actually has Rock Slide, so is he choiced? Is he choiced? He's not even choiced, he just happens to outspeed me. Okay. Even the Tornadus he outspeeds, unless his Tornadus is not max speed. And of course I flinch. Of course I flinch. Of course I do. What do I even do here? Like, I can go into SAWSBUCK. Like, I think I kind of just lose this combo now, because like the Tornadus going down, especially taking this much damage with flinching here, like I kind of just fucking lose. Because I needed that Sacred Fire to get damage onto the Regigigas so I can outspeed on the next turn. I don't have that here. I mean, I'll Fake Tears. I mean, I'll try to go for Fake Tears here, and I'll Sacred Fire again if he doesn't protect. There's the protect. I need a burn here. Like, I need this to burn. I don't. He brings me to Sash, though, so that's pretty good. So now I can actually Endeavor here, which wouldn't be too bad. Like, as long as I can get rid of the Wheezing on this next turn, like, I can kind of... And I'm not really too worried about it, because I can kind of just get rid of it on the following turn, so... I think what I do here is I Endeavor on the Wheezing, he can't protect. And then... I could E-Speed here, but he could go for Protect too, but I think I'm just going to Sacred Fire. There's the Endeavor, there it is. Holy shit, I guess I could have went after the Wheezing. I didn't know if the SAWSBUCK actually outsped the Entei, if it was actually a speed tie here, but getting rid of the Regigigas I think is still a huge threat off the field. He actually has Heat Wave. It's enough to get rid of the SAWSBUCK, but apart from that, it does nothing. It's still going to be a really tough game. I think I have 2 turns of Tailwind left. So if he wants to, he can actually just stall my Tailwind out here. And like, there's no way for like me to actually get my weather back up, so I think I kind of just lose here. Especially if he has Kyogre in the back. I think he just gets his own weather up. It actually has Clefairy, okay. Do I actually lock myself into Eruption here, though? I think I do. I'm gonna YOLO. I'm gonna lock myself into Eruption on this turn. And then I'm gonna Sacred Fire the Clefairy. Get it out of here. There's the Eruption. Let's see how much damage this does. That doesn't do nearly enough to the Clefairy at all, but I don't have my Sun up either, so that's probably why. I should have a Sun Up boost now up here, though. So, like, at the very least, we can bring this game down to a 1-0. If he has Kyogre, I think he just still instantly wins, though. Because he comes in and replaces my weather with rain, and then I think he probably outspeeds me. It's Kyogre, so... The only way I win here is if I happen to win a speed tie versus the Kyogre with the Groudon. I'm not even sure if I'm max speed, actually. This might be more of a bulky Groudon. I am max speed, though. I am timid max speed, so... We're going to see if I can actually outspeed the Groudon here, and I'm actually going to go Terra normal E-speed. In case he... Oh, I forgot I'm Choice Banded, never mind. I forgot I'm choice banded. Well, YOLO, I think I lose. If he's choice Scarf Kyogre, I think he just wins. Could go Terra normal here, but I don't know if it really matters. What Terra am I on this? Terra Fire. I think I'm actually going to go Terra Fire here. Eruption. And I'll Sacred Fire here. I don't think there's any way I win this. It's going to come down to if he wins a speed tie versus Groudon here, and I think if he does, he just wins. Even then, like, I don't think I can actually KO him in the rain at all with anything, unless I get like a burn plus like a crit or some crazy shit here. And he's choice Scarf, so that is exactly why I said this match is gonna be so fucking difficult, because Kyogre just throws a wrench into like everything this team wants to do. Especially with the wheezing, with the neutralizing gas. And he's happened to be choice Scarf anyways, so doesn't matter. Brought it down to a 1-0 though. Kind of sucks losing to that, but this is a fucking team with a Specs Groudon and a goddamn SAWSBUCK, and I can't really expect too much. Bringing it down to a 1-0, it's more than I thought we were going to be able to do anyways. If he never brought the Kyogre there though, I think we would have won. So that was still a really close game, but I don't think there would be any reason why he wouldn't bring Kyogre at all. Just because it's just changing my weather and it just matches up into my team so well. So I don't know. See you guys in another match. Alright, we got ourselves a game here. My opponent's actually running a really cool Trick Room team. With like half Trick Room. He must be running like a really slow Calyrex or something, but he has the Conkeldurr, Porygon 2, Baxcalibur, Glastrier, so he has double Ice type on his team. Double Ice type, it's really weird. And he has the Hisuian Slowking, I think that is, and then a Calyrex Shadow. So what I do here is I actually bring Tornadus. Taunt's really good here. I really want my Tailwind up too, so I think I can just kind of have Eruption too. I can just kind of bring my Groudon as a lead here. It looks really good. Walking Wake looks incredibly good into his team as well. I don't even know if I bring SAWSBUCK here. It just doesn't really do that much. Kind of just gets destroyed by Conkeldurr. And like, it doesn't really do much. It walls Calyrex, I guess. But like, I can't really do much back to it. If he's Terra Fairy too, like he can just completely wall me, so I think I'm better off just bringing Entei here. I think he 100% brings Conkeldurr too. Conkeldurr's actually not too bad into my team, especially if he's like Assault Vested. Now, if he has Mach Punch, like it's probably just one-shots the SAWSBUCK anyway, so it's kind of worthless bringing in this game. Doesn't really do much. He does bring back Excalibur, so that's mainly just because he probably has Thermal Exchange, so he's able to get a free attack boost onto me. Or onto himself, if I go for like a Fire-type move. He might be Terra here as well, too. I'm just going to actually go for Taunt. I'm going to Taunt the Porygon here. I could go for Overheat, or I could actually switch out predicting like a Terra Steel. Go into something else here. Because I think he might end up going for like an Ice-type move against me, which I think is probably what he wants to do. I'm actually going to go into Walking Wake here. Mythical Spear, but it's on the wrong mon, so I could have stayed in and I could have got a crazy Eruption off. That's unfortunate. I got no Tailwind either, so that's kind of bad. Is he going for Trick Room though? He just goes for Ice Beam. Okay. This still does a lot of damage. I mean, I'm Choice Bandit Entei here, so I think I just go into Groudon here though. I think I save the Entei for later in the game. Because I'm Terra Normal on that, so I can maybe try to catch the Calyrex off guard. I'm going to Eruption here, and then we're going to go YOLO. I think that's what I do here. I go for Eruption. I don't even think the Porygon drops at this range, actually. I can go Terra Fire, too. I think I'm just going to full send. We're going to go Terra Fire Eruption here. YOLO, full send YOLO here, and then I'm gonna go for Hydro Steam onto the Porygon. Drop Porygon, okay. Slowking. I don't think you're really gonna want to take an Eruption plus a Hydro Steam, but he's gonna go Terra. What do you like, Terra Dragon? If he's full on like Terra Dragon here, I think he can just actually wall me. He's actually Terra Fairy, okay. That's fine. He predicted the Draco Meteor there, like a dragon type move. That's completely fine. You're gonna be taking a shit ton of damage still. That's to a KO. Do I outspeed Excalibur though? What, Citrus? Citrus Berry, okay. I do. Sun boosted Choice Specs Eruption in the sun. It almost gets the KO on the Excalibur. I give him an attack boost, but I don't really care. Like, if you go for Icicle Spear here, like, you're still not going to do that much damage to the Groudon. Yeah, even at +1, you're not doing that much. Why does it sound weird every time he throws a spear at me? Sounds really weird. That's for sure loaded dice, though. That's loaded dice, Excalibur. It's going to come down to probably Calyrex. If he has Calyrex, I think he can still win the game, though, because that just comes in and outspeeds everything. He didn't bring Calyrex. Wow. He didn't bring Calyrex, y'all. Why not? I don't know. That's crazy. I mean, I just Hydro Steam the Conkeldurr here. Goes for Protect. That's fine. You're just stalling. He's trying to stall my weather out, so I don't do as much damage. He's going to double Protect. I mean, I don't think this really does much, though. Like, you're kind of just promoting, like, the inevitable here. Because, like, I know you have no Calyrex now. I have Entei in the back, so, like, Choice Band and Entei is still really good into him. It's winnable, y'all. I see a W in the future. I think we can maybe win. He already uses Terra as well. He wanted the burn. He wanted the Guts boost. Will a Guts Mach Punch take me out from this range, though? That's the question. I don't know. I don't know how much an Eruption's really going to do because I'm already at, like, reduced damage at this range, too. So, kind of the shitty thing. I can maybe switch the Groudon out if I really wanted to and go right out into the Entei, but I just don't see the point. I think it's better off just keeping the Entei for late game and having it come in and clean up. That does so much damage. It's not AV. That's Flame Orb for sure. I mean, it is because we just seen the Flame Orb proc. But I can still get the double KO here now. Being that it did so much damage, it doesn't matter that I'm reduced on Eruption power. But you got 5 health left, you're still dead. So now it's going to be Porygon 2 versus the world. Because he never brought Calyrex for whatever reason. I don't know why he never brought Calyrex. It's actually really good into my team. I don't know why he never brought it, so that's his own problem. He might actually just Rage Quit too. He's taking a long time to just send out his last Mon. Are you gonna Rage Quit on me? We might actually have a Rage Quit here, y'all. It ain't that difficult to send out the Porygon too. Come on now, it can't take this long. He Rage Quits! He Rage Quits! There it is! I predicted it. There's the Rage Quit. Special Choice Specs Groudon getting a Rage Quit. I don't think I've ever seen that, and you guys will probably never see that ever again. That's insane. Specs Groudon making the guy fucking Rage Quit. What a fucking pathetic piece of shit loser to fucking Rage Quit to this shit, especially even on the casual ladder. I can see maybe in ranked, like, whatever, but, like, on casual ladder, come on. What a loser. On to the next match. I'm not even going to waste more of your guys' time. Alright, we're here with one more match. It's going to be probably the biggest test for this team so far. We have a decent matchup into this team, but like if shit goes wrong, like we can still lose very easily. My opponent has the Raging Bolt, Zacian, Rillaboom, Urshifu, Tornadus, and Amoonguss. So we have a pretty solid matchup. I think the main thing I really need here is Tailwind. For sure, I think that's what I really need to do here. So I think I actually lead Tornadus, Groudon. I think that's a really solid lead. I think the worst case scenario is if his own Tornadus is carrying like rain or like a different weather and changes my weather on me. That could be kind of a problem. What else do I want to bring in? Do I want to even bring the SAWSBUCK again? I don't know what it really even does here actually. Kind of gets destroyed by a lot of stuff on his team. I mean, I guess it ain't too bad. I can resist hits from the Amoonguss and the Rillaboom. And I guess the Raging Bolt. I'll bring the SAWSBUCK in the back. It ain't too bad. What else do I bring here? I think Entei looks really good here again, too. Comes down to either Entei or Walking Wake. I don't know which one I really want to bring here. I think a Walking Wake, though, is kind of what I'm going to bring. I think I'll go Walking Wake. I guess Entei would have been a little bit better into the Zacian matchup. But a lot of the Zacians are running currently Terra Ground, so if they have Terra Ground, Terra Blast, that doesn't really matter. If he has Tonku, that could be kind of a problem. I'm not really scared of Raging Bolt at all. It doesn't really scare me. I just mainly need my Tailwind up, so like I'm gonna try to go for Tailwind here. I have Thunderbolt, I guess, technically for Tornadus too. And I kind of really want to go for Eruption though, because I don't think the Raging Bolt does much to me. I'm just gonna Eruption here. YOLO. If he's not Sash, I think he just gets like fully like one-hit KO'd by this. Leer. He's setting up for the Zacian, I think. There's the Tailwind. I think if anything drops on this turn, it's probably the Tornadus. Like, you're gonna have to take this. This is Choice Specs Eruption. He lives, though. He actually lives. Tornadus is dead here. It's kind of bad because I kind of wanted to keep it around for one more turn, just mainly to go for Taunt onto their own Tornadus. Well, I'm gonna go into SAWSBUCK here actually. This is gonna be crazy, y'all. Here's where we get the crazy play. I'm Chlorophyll in the sun. I'm gonna go for Fake Tears on the Raging Bolt here, and then I'm gonna go for Eruption again. If he goes for Tailwind, I think I should be able to still outspeed him because of Chlorophyll at least. So we're going to see how this actually... He does go for Tailwind. That's kind of why I wanted to go for Taunt. So he must be running a faster Tornadus, too. I don't know what Raging Bolt does here, though. Like, under Tailwind, does he outspeed me? He doesn't, so... I think you're both dead. Yeah, goodbye, get out of here. What a play. What a play this was. Get outplayed. Guy's getting outplayed by a SAWSBUCK Groudon. Where are you going to see this? He actually has Rillaboom, so... What, Rillaboom Zacian? Is that his last mon? He does have Zacian, okay. In the sun, though, like, I'm not really scared of any of this stuff. Like, I can actually go for Thunder Wave onto the Zacian. It'd be really good here. I think that's actually really good. If he goes for Fake Out on the SAWSBUCK, that's fine. I don't really care. I could just go for Eruption here again, too. But I think the main issue is what he wants to try to do is maybe... I don't know. I think I'm just going to go for Terra Fire here. I'm going to go for Terra Fire Eruption. He might just want to come into and just go for, like, Grassy Glide, or hopefully he outspeeds with his own Tailwind and get a bunch of damage onto the Groudon. That could be another thing he wants to do. So I'm just going to go for Eruption, Terra Fire, boosted here. Unless he's, like, his own, like, Terra Ground Zacian, which he also could maybe be here. Or find out if he's Terra Ground. It's Terra Fairy, so... I don't know what that really does for him. Doesn't really do that much, but I can still Thunder Wave him, which is good. I think if I can get a Thunder Wave onto the Zacian, I should be able to outspeed under my own Tailwind. And I can probably one-shot him back with Eruption if I don't get any damage on me. What a match. We're going back and forth, Duke. Now he goes for the Fake Out on the SAWSBUCK. That's bad. Close Combat. How much does that do to me? That does way too much damage. Why does it do so much? This is going to do nothing now, actually. I thought he was going to just go after the Groudon here. That's what I thought he was going to do. So if I knew that, I would have actually saved my Terra for late game for the Entei. I think that would have been a little better. I guess I can technically switch out the Groudon now if I really want to. I can maybe switch it out here, but I think what I do here is I just go for Thunder Wave again. I mean, I could actually probably switch it out here. I don't know. I don't know what he actually does to me. I'm going to switch it out here for the Walking Wake. Actually, I forgot I didn't bring Entei. I brought Walking Wake instead, so I don't think it really matters that much. I don't know if it really matters that much, actually. I think I just stay in. I think I just stay in and try to get more damage on him. I think that's my play here. So I can get the Thunder Wave off, but it just comes down to if I can get enough damage to where the Walking Wake can come in later in the game. If I can get a full para here too, that'd be great. I actually outspeed him now, so that's good. Got a high roll on this turn, so that's pretty good. Glad I stayed in. Combat. Here's where we're gonna have a problem, y'all. Here's where we're gonna have a huge problem, because now it's gonna be the Walking Wake versus 2 Mons. If he has Wood Hammer, which I'm assuming he probably does, I think he probably still wins. Or if he has Protect on Zacian. Like, I have no Tailwind anymore either. I guess I can go for Protect here too. He's Thunder Waved, so I don't know if that really matters that much, if I actually still outspeed him. I have a speed boost actually in the Sun, so actually I should probably outspeed him here. I'm going to go for Hydro Steam onto the Zacian. I think that's the only way I win. If he has Protect on Zacian, I think he just wins here. Or if he has Wood Hammer, I think Wood Hammer probably just one-shots me. Or if I can get a fully para here, like there's a chance that he does have Protect. So I think I lose. I guess I could have tried to predict the Protect there too and just go after the Rillaboom with like a Draco or something, but that actually is fucking one-shots me. That's crazy. Wow, that does so much damage. It barely misses out on the KO there, too. I think if he would have died to his recoil, actually, I would have had a chance to win. That sucks. I mean, I can go for Protect here, I guess. I think he has, what does he have, 1 turn of terrain left? He has 2 turns of terrain, so there's no way I win here. He just clicks Grassy Glide and he just wins, unfortunately. There's no way I win. That's just kind of the... I guess if I would have brought Entei to this match, I would have been a little bit different. I think if I would have brought Entei, I think I maybe would have won. Not sure, though. I think Entei maybe would have got me the dub here. I was really debating whether or not to bring the Walking Wake with Entei, and I just ended up... the Entei being, I think, probably the better option. Probably would have let me win. Walking Wake just ended up being neutral and grass-type moves, and that kind of really cost me. I think the main problem with this team, like everything I'm facing with this team, like the main thing I'm facing with this team is like if the Groudon, especially if you're locked into Eruption, if they're able to like get a shit ton of damage on you before you move, or like on after the first turn, if they live your first Eruption, then they get a shit ton of damage on you. You're either forced to switch out, or you're just forced to sack off the Groudon and you just lose so much momentum. I think that's kind of the main problem that this team really has. That's at least what I've been facing in a lot of my matches. So, let's talk a little bit about this team. Alright, as for this team, if you guys want to like a funner, like more gimmicky team to use, by all means try to use this one. I don't know, I don't really care for this team, just mainly because I feel like it's really difficult to pull off a lot of the time. I think the main problems for this team, it's also really one of those teams that's really susceptible for like getting your weather changed on you. Kyogre is really common. Alolan Ninetales is also really common. There's a few other things that are also running weather that I guess like opposing Sun really isn't the most threatening thing, but there also are a lot of like photosynthesis mons that are also being ran on other teams and giving them a free boost too, where this team really is not like taking them on with a free boost in the Sun. So the main problem that I actually had with this team is like the Groudon. Just if you're not able to one-shot whatever is on the enemy team with Eruption in the Sun, like you just either take so much damage to where on the next turn you don't do any damage at all with Eruption, or you're forced to switch out. And at that point in the game, just lose so much momentum, or you like lose whatever you're switching in pretty much, or it takes a lot of damage to where it's not really able to do much. So it's kind of the main problem I had with a lot of this team. The SAWSBUCK is okay as like a supportive mon, but it gets easily countered. I know there was one game where one of my testing matches I went against a taunt Whimsicott, and the guy taunted me, and like it pretty much shut down my entire plans, and he just doubled into the SAWSBUCK pretty much. And just got it out of the way on like the first or second turn. So like it still gets easily shut down most times, and especially if you don't have your Sun up, like it just doesn't do anything. It doesn't outspeed anything unless you have like your Tailwind or like Sun on the field. So I don't know. It's one of those mons that's kind of more of a gimmicky mon. There's a reason why it's pretty bad. Its stats also really aren't the greatest. Like you throw like a fucking toothpick at this thing and it falls over because its defensive stats are just so fucking awful. Grass normal is an okay typing, but it's not really the greatest. I don't know. At least offensively, it's not really the greatest. You're better off just having like either the pure normal or like pure grass typing, or like something entirely different most of the time. But as for like a supportive mon, when it actually does work, it actually puts in work, but it's just kind of really difficult to pull off most times. And it gets easily checked by so many things currently. That's kind of the main problem I had with it in a lot of my games. I think like one of the only games I actually did win was like when the enemy team, the guy rage quitted on me because he never brought his Calyrex. Like that's one of the only matches I won. I think I maybe won one other like testing match, but apart from that I got like absolutely destroyed in a lot of my games. I had a few that were like 1 or 2 0s that were pretty close, but apart from that I ended up getting destroyed with this team a lot. So another real thing that this team really does also struggle with is wide guard, because the main source of damage with this team that you're going to be using is the Groudon and mainly the Tornadus some of the time as well. Wide guard walls both of those mons pretty well, so if they have like a Polypra on the enemy team that's also able to change your weather, that's another problem. That's one thing I ran into in one of my testing games. I ran into a Zamazenta team that actually had a Polypra on it with wide guard. That was kind of really difficult playing around that, so you have options to play around, like you have Thunderbolts on the Groudon to get rid of the Polypra. Most of them are running Focus Sash though, so you can maybe bring them down to Sash, but they won't die. And they can also change your weather and all that type of shit. Or you have Taunt to try to get rid of like the wide guard spam, which works sometimes, but they're just doing so much damage, and like whatever they have paired alongside just either sets up on you or just does so much damage to where it's kind of at that point in the game it's kind of in the back seat and you're not really doing as much. So I don't know. Overall, if you guys want a fun, more gimmicky team to use, try this team. Not really the greatest team. If you guys want to rank up, though, I think it's more one of those teams just to have fun with. No, I don't think it's really like that good if you want to like rank up through the ranked ladder at all. I just play this team on like the casual ladder just to have some fun and shits and giggles mainly. So, apart from that, if you guys enjoy it, leave a like, subscribe, share the video. Rental up in the corner, paste should be down below in the description somewhere. Apart from that, I got a bunch more stuff on the way. If you guys don't want to miss it, leave a like, subscribe. I also do stream over here usually on Friday and Saturday nights. Usually Saturday nights I stream 6v6 Wi-Fi battles or some Wi-Fi battles over here, so if that interests you guys, feel free to drop by. Apart from that, I'm going to get out of here. Thanks for watching, everybody.